Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I'm just waiting on the YouTube to initiate. It's having problems this morning. But while it's doing that, we can go ahead and start to see what's going on with the calendar. All right, so today is the 27th of April. I am Judge Bando. I am filling in for Judge Case Johnson. It's Clayton County Court Preliminary Hearing. So with that being said, if you could give me your announcements. State of Georgia versus Alexander Joseph Allen.
State ready.
Your Honor, Stephen Little for Lister Holton Dennis. Defense is also ready.
All right. From my understanding, State of Georgia versus Eva Marie Anderson has been bound over to state court. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And is that also the same for Tiana Baker?
She's out to bond.
Okay. All right. State of Georgia versus Tredarius Baines.
State's ready.
Your Honor, for Mr. Baines, I would request a conference with the state before we do that hearing. We may be able to reach some sort of agreement on him.
Okay. State of Georgia versus Serafina Bell.
We submitted a waiver in that case, Your Honor.
Okay. And I understand that Julian Berry has been bound over already.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And the same for Shahid Bilal.
Yes, they're out to bond.
Okay. And Jasper Bryant I also have is already out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Portia Bryant is, so State of Georgia versus Portia Elisa Bryant.
That case, Lister and Holt submitted a waiver.
Okay. State of Georgia versus Walter Cagle.
Your Honor, I have that he was placed on yesterday's calendar. I do have an officer here today if Mr. Little wants to handle that hearing, but he was on the 4/26 calendar.
Okay.
We handled him yesterday.
Okay.
That would make sense, Your Honor, because the other charges that he's in jail on look like they all came out of the same police report, and those would be Superior Court charges.
Yeah, I was here yesterday and I actually remember that name.
So, Your Honor, if I could release my officer on that case.
Yes, he can be released.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, State of Georgia versus Benjamin Calloway. I understand that's been bound over to state court already.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State of Georgia versus Angel Denise Calloway.
State's ready.
Defense is also ready.
I understand Frederick Chappell is already out on bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Napoleon Crowder has already been bound over to state court. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. He's already pled.
Okay. And Quandarius Daniels has already been taken care of?
Yes, he's out to bond.
Okay. De La Juan Estacio De La Luz, he's already been bound over.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I have Pamela Duggar's already been bound over. Justin Florino I have is out to bind. Kentrell Freeman out to bind. All right. Marquise Garrett.
State's ready.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
You said you were ready. I didn't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. Defense is ready.
Okay. I have Charlie Glass has been bound over already. Troy Grimes has been bound over. Antonio Harris has been bound over. All right. State of Georgia versus Melanie Rose Hughes.
That should be a waiver, Your Honor.
All right. I have Leah Lewis out to bond. Yosha Lowe is out on bond. Kennard McCoon has been bound over. Ronald McMillan is out to bond. State of Georgia versus Horace Meadows Jr.
State's ready.
And Your Honor, for Mr. Meadows, he has not had an attorney assigned. So as of this point, Lister Holton Dennis does not formally represent him, but if the court would appoint us, then we would represent him. But I don't know if he's done an application or if he's been qualified.
Okay. We'll have to find that out.
Excuse me, Your Honor, we have Grimes here. Deron Grimes?
You have Grimes, you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a Troy Grimes.
Yeah, so you have Troy Grimes there
Yes, Your Honor.
for these charges?
It's showing that it was bound over to state court in the system. We have a waiver for him. March 16th.
I think it was bound over to state court. It's just he's still in custody for the case that was bound over to state court.
Yeah.
So you can take him back apparently.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. State of Georgia versus Jose Madiza Seha.
Defense is
State's
ready.
ready. State's ready.
And defense
Hey,
is ready, Your Honor.
You know how to pronounce that, Attorney Graves?
Man,
No? Okay.
I don't. Your Honor.
All right. All right. State of Georgia versus Mario Mills.
That case has been waived, Your Honor.
I have State of Georgia versus Anthony Miller is being bound over. State of Georgia versus Jessica Mitchell.
State's ready.
And she's also currently unrepresented. So that would be another one where we don't know if she's done an application or has been qualified by the court yet.
Okay. I have Amina Norris out on bond. State of Georgia versus Sterling Pate.
Your Honor, that case has been continued a few times and the state has not been able to provide a witness. So I just leave that up to the court.
Judge,
Gatson.
Attorney Natalie Gatson for Mr. Pate. Of course, we would object vehemently to that continuance. This will be the third time that this case is continued.
I wasn't asking for a continuous, Judge. I was just alerting the court.
Okay.
Judge, if they're not ready to move forward, we would ask that it be dismissed for warrant of prosecution.
Okay. I'm gonna come circle back to that when we finish calling the calendar. Okay, Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Thank you.
All right. State of Georgia versus Wilgen Reyes.
State's ready.
So he's
And,
another one that needs to be asked about an attorney, apparently.
That's right, Your Honor. It's those three are the only three on the calendar I know that don't have attorneys yet.
Okay. State of Georgia versus Donna Marquise Scott.
Your Honor, I
State's
would need
ready.
a brief conference with Mr. Scott, please.
You want to talk to Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor, I attempted a few times, but we weren't able to connect. So if I can just see what he would like to do this morning briefly.
Okay. All right. I have Clifton Sellers has been bound over. State of Georgia versus Ricky Shinholster.
That case has been waived, Your Honor.
I have Thomas Short has been bound. Oh, no, I don't. All right. State of Georgia versus Thomas Anthony Short.
I was hoping it would have been bound over, Your Honor, because we did submit a waiver for Mr. Short.
Okay. All right. State of Georgia versus Sylvain Syrah Proseru has been bound over. Corey Smith is out to bond. Karen Stone is out to bond. Jawan Summer Hour is bound over. Monique Thomas has been bound over to state court. All right, State of Georgia versus Ashley Nicole Tittle.
We submitted a waiver in that case.
All right. I have State of Georgia versus Jalen Christopher Truitt has been bound over. State of Georgia versus Jerry Antonio Williams.
Also a waiver.
All right. State of Georgia versus Natasha Williams is out to bind. State of Georgia versus Braden Thomas Willingham has been bound over. Yes, the State of Georgia versus Shanice Willis, out the bond. Demetrius Wilson has been bound over. Kendall Wright has been bound over. And Malia Zachary has been bound over. Is there anybody whose name I was supposed to call that didn't hear it? Any attorneys?
Your Honor, did you call Pascual Cardozo?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, maybe I didn't. You have an announcement for Mr. Cardoso?
The announcement is that we waived it, Your Honor. I just didn't hear you call it on the calendar, so I didn't know if the
Okay, I might have skipped over. All right, is there any other names that were?
Not that I was expecting.
Okay. Attorney Gasson, I'm gonna grant your motion to dismiss your case for warrant of prosecution on Sterling Pate. So I'll sign that order now, actually. So
Thank you, Judge. Is it possible for me to speak briefly with Mr. Pate?
yes, so I have two people that need to speak with their clients, from my understanding, and then I have one pretrial conference. So I don't know which Attorney Kelly, are you the only solicitor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, could you have your officer for position number one on standby, so when we finish this little small administrative break, then that'll be the first hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna put the respective parties in their waiting rooms until we start this hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Little, was that Attorney Little? Was that your case that you went over pretrial with?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I was confirming it. Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, if I'm able to, while they're in their conference room, if I can please conference with the jail, if I could briefly speak with Mr. Scott, please.
Okay, I'll add you.
Thank you.
while they are doing that at the jail, do you have those 3 inmates that didn't have attorneys? So I can inquire about that? Can we do that now? It's Horace Meadows. That's a female, and Wilgen Reyes. Attorney Little, did you need to go to the jail room or the jail waiting room?
Yes, please, Your Honor. I had a chance to speak with the state about Thordarius Baines, and I've received a offer from the state that I hope can resolve our case this morning without having a full hearing.
Okay, all right. So I will put you in the jail breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I see you standing there, Deputy. I'm sorry, I didn't know your name.
It's Irvin, Your Honor.
Oh, were you are you able to get those 2? Do you have the applications for attorneys for those 2 males that you have?
I don't have
Lawyers?
I don't have no applications at this time. No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, so we'll work on that.
Yes, Your Honor.